This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.
Morning, Mr.
You know, it can't come out well in English. You have to say it in Swahili. Yes, you have to say
So
it.
the way I've said
It,
it came out.
How would you say that in English? You guys left me.
Yeah.
Aina punch. Aina oomph.
I like the way you guys are just totally ignoring the matter at hand.
No, we are telling you we sympathize, we acknowledge, we accept, we recognize, we apologize, we repent.
Forgive us, Your Highness.
Wow. That's a man who
You want a burnt offering?
Yes.
Okay.
Something must burn.
Something smoky.
Moses.
So, Moses.
The honor of the
something
burning
smoky.
bush.
Something smoky.
I only know 3 things that can smoke. So which one? You need to choose.
First of all, can we know the ones you know?
Yeah. First of all, are we just gonna sit here and assume that Okari has not carried a backpack today? Wouldn't that be?
No, yeah, for real.
Guys, it has cables, it has stuff. I didn't have time to even just get my notebook. I just let me carry the bag.
It's sour.
Yeah.
That's the politically correct version. So
It's sour.
Then end up singing a show. Sijahama.
Mtu anasema salimia pedi. Mtu amesema salimia pedi.
Yani pedi sasa.
Wewe sasa.
Mimi ni pedi.
Yes, you
Unaona sasa.
Umekuja na bag.
and he knows 3 things that smoke. It's okay.
Guys, you know we're on air.
I know.
Hizi
Okay.
masiri tunaongea.
Oh, sorry.
Tutaharibu nyumba.
Okay, don't be angry.
Tutachoma.
Tuko here. We are okay. Good morning, everybody. And here we are getting into things this morning. Everybody is fine as we have registered. Have you seen Lydia? She's good. She's here.
Isn't she lovely?
But isn't she beautiful? Hey, Lydia, they're even singing for you. Telling you the world is ending today.
I know.
Mambo vipi lakini? Uko salama. Our live streams are up, guys. YouTube, Facebook, X, and also our audience is here on KTN, and it's Tuesday. Welcome to Tuesday. It's the 14th of October. Boss, we're already in the middle of October, and October is saying, guys, I'll be gone till November. Literally, that's what's going on, and here we are getting into it this morning, and we're going to have a number of conversations. Let me let you know what those will be, and then we'll look into a problem for today, and then into the headlines, and then kaende. Sindo? All right. It's Tuesday. County Mashinani, that was happening last week with the senators. They went to Busia County, and some people declared Busia County a war crime.
A crime scene.
Crime scene, not war zone. Wow.
It's heading there.
Yeah. They said things are bad, and it's interesting because no sooner than had they declared things were bad, then senators were dancing in the governor's house.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe after the reggae played the blues.
The blues.
So I don't know. That's what was happening in Busia.
What was that?
You didn't see
don't
them
know the
dancing?
song?
No.
You don't know
What?
You don't know that song?
Okay, which one should we explain to
Okay.
you first?
You sang that in school or whatever, kindergarten or what?
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay, don't make me feel dumb. Just says, what was that?
no, it's a song. It's a song.
Oh, okay.
You don't know the song?
No.
Okay, I'll play it for you later.
Yeah.
Let's do.
I'll put it on a CD.
What is it called?
And you can put it in your bag.
What is it called? Sounds Nigerian from what
It
you.
is.
It is.
It is.
It's Nigerian.
After the reggae, play the blues, the blues. Okay. I'll send it to you in just a
Which world do I
minute.
live in?
Yeah, for real.
Okay.
So the point of that whole story was to let you know that the senator for the Republic of Kenya in the county of Busia is one Okiya Omtata. He'll join us at 7 o'clock and we'll have a conversation around a number of things. Of course, County Mashinani went down there. The senator is trying to get a couple of things sorted out, and it turns out that exactly is what is happening. And so we'll take a national outlook and a political stock take, but we'll also take a look at what's been happening in Busia. Sawa. So the good senator joins us at 7 o'clock. City ni numbers, a look at political reorganization expected ahead of 2027. The former member of parliament for Nyeri Town is Gunjiri Wambogo. He said a number of things. He's been, swirling around circles. So let's talk with him at 8. And so that's the conversation that we will have at 7 and at 8 o'clock today. And then we'll have a final conversation at 9 a.m. Yeah. I'll let you know what that is as well. So that's what it looks like today. And those are the conversations that we'll be getting into. Already glad that you have joined us in the room this morning. And even as we get into things, karibuni sana for joining us always as you do. And so, and as we have these conversations, great that you join us. And remember that wherever it is you're tuned in from, happy to have you here. Our audience on KTN is here, and those who are tuned in around the nation, region, and the world, this is a Situation Room. Dennis Aseto, Ndoko, and Dennis Okari with you this morning, getting into conversations necessary for us to have and great for us to be plugged in. Sasa, you took us to Liberia.
Yes. And Liberia, let's just talk about their cuisine. Popular dishes include jollof rice.
Even Liberia is jollof rice.
Yeah, they have jollof rice.
Why that thing is so common, Haji?
They have cassava.
You know, I wanted to say something, but let me just...
Just say.
Nigeria jollof
No
is the best.
jollof rice beats Nigerian.
You said it, man.
Okay. But if you go to Liberia, they would say theirs is the best.
Yeah, they can say.
Okay.
You know, you can't say anything.
So they also have cassava leaf stew.
Okay.
They equally have pepper soup and fufu. Similarities.
Okay, fufu generally
Nigeria.
is from cassava.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they do fufu,
Ghanaians
the cassava, then they use the leaves to make stew.
It would appear so.
Yeah.
What combination is that?
It's a vegetable now. It's like how people use
Ugali and skuma.
pumpkin leaves. Don't you guys use pumpkin leaves to cook?
yeah.
Malenge.
Malenge.
It's not pumpkin.
It is.
Malenge is pumpkin.
Don't you use the leaves?
The leaves, yeah.
Yeah.
As a veggie,
It's actually really sweet.
as a vegetable, Abby.
Yeah.
It's more or less the same thing, Abby.
Yeah.
But you know, there's a kind of cassava. There's a kind of cassava you can't eat because it has a high level of cyanide.
So you
have to know which one. Anyway, I digress.
Yeah.
Sorry, sir.
So their national motto is "The love of liberty brought us here." That is their national motto. But let's go to the proverb, which most of us can relate to. Words are like eggs. When they drop, they break. Words are like eggs. When they drop, they break. Let's just circle back, as Okari would say. Pelekea Ruto takataka.
Oh. Yeah.
Rings a bell.
That was interesting. Did
Yeah.
you see how things happened very quickly for our guy?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to imagine when an egg. Have you tried to gather up a raw egg that's fallen?
How?
It's impossible.
Yeah.
Well, you could try, but you'll never
It's
have the
lying
egg
it
back.
all over the place, yeah.
Yeah. So it's all over the place. You can try to gather up some of it, maybe put it in a bowl, but you never have it back intact the way it was pre-break. So I guess more or less we need to have our brain to mouth filter function.
Yeah.
Because once you've spoken some words, you can't get them back. If they're words spoken in love, then absolutely great. But if then they're words that would bring a level of destruction or hurt or pain, you can't take them back. You know how people say, "Oh well, you hurt me." Oh, so I take it back. Well, you can't really. It's already out there. I don't know. So I guess a word of caution for us to be careful how we speak to others.
You know, like I always say, Proverbs for me remind me of a lot of scriptures. There's something David once said, "My tongue is like the pen of a ready writer." So when you say something, you can't unsay it.
Yeah.
So words have the power to cause death or bring life. Words have power to create hate or peace. Cause someone to be angry or hopeful. Build faith. They're like seeds. So there's seeds that will then germinate immediately. There's seeds that will germinate in the future. That's what words do. So you can use words. And I love that proverb because it's one of my favorite things I like to meditate about, just thinking of words. Is like, words are like missionaries. So when you speak, you're sending them out on a mission to accomplish something. And words are not waste. And the reason why we can have a conversation as human beings and dogs can't is because there's something that's special beyond using our mouths to eat. And to just speak. Words have power. Is like an experiment I once saw, I think on YouTube, where there was this person who had a plant, 2 plants actually. So the first plant, he kept speaking words of affirmation to this plant. A plant doesn't. You'd assume plants don't have ears.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that experiment is true, but it was a very powerful analogy where he kept affirming this plant, saying, "You are beautiful, you'll grow, you'll be fruitful, you'll be this, you're blessed, you're this, you're that." Then the other plant, it was just pure curses. You're good for nothing. You will never amount to anything. You will never grow. You will never have seed. You will never have fruit and whatnot. Then weeks later, that plant started withering. And the plant that was having this daily affirmation started growing and actually blossomed. Whether it's true or not, that experiment, the fact is, if you constantly say negative things to someone, it changes them. But if you keep telling, even with kids, you keep telling kids, you are beautiful, you're handsome, you're smart, you're a genius, you're this, they grow to be confident. But every time, unatandika viboko, you're good for nothing. Wewe ni kama baba yako.
Wow.
And I don't know why it's always like, do you understand what I just said?
I did.
You're
I
like your
understood.
father. Slippers on the bum bum.
But
Keep
one
the
must
kids.
also ask, if you're like your father, you hooked up with him, didn't you? But anyway, that could be a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
I know. I know. Yeah, I can go on and on and on, but I love the proverb. So that's generally my interpretation.
I just saw a comment from Isaac Ali, and it's just it's a psalm that says, "May the words of my mouth and the meditations of my heart be acceptable unto you." Acceptable unto, God, but also acceptable unto each other.
Each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll not interpret it. I think it's out there.
Up on Tuko. Fantastic. All right, people tuned in this morning. So somebody was asking, are live stream? Yes, live streams are up, guys. If you've asked that question here, it means you're here. And so you're accessing it because you're actually on the live stream. So thanks for joining us this morning, everybody. As you do, let's say a quick hello to everybody who's tuned in today. And yes, it is indeed. We are looking into it today. And very good morning. Don Sabwa, good morning to you. Ndu, yes. Ask Okari and Aseto. Now it's two of you.
Oh, okay.
Is the merging and engulfing of parties by wheelbarrow an indication of countering the famous Gen Z uprising? For 20 marks, split them amongst yourselves.
Well, they're not saying so, but I think so.
Seems so.
All right. There's your answer. Don Sabo says, good morning. Preston, UK is where I'm to the Omar, you went back. So you're no longer in Nairobi. You've gone back, it would appear. Well, hope that you had a good time while you were here in Kenya and you get back into it, back to the grind. Jimmy Gakio is tuning in this morning. Rose Gray says, good morning. And Dennis times 2. Mukwaje tuko salama. Mungu azidi kuwalinda. Amen. And blessings to you, my sister. Desmond Otis is tuned in from the lakeside of Wuhanya Beach. Achieng Ndu Amosi.
Ber Ahinya. Just say that.
Ber Ahinya. Robert Toboko. Okari, why are you looking at me?
I'm beginning to understand Lou.
Well, I mean, I've been told to say something, I've said it.
Okay.
And
One day you'll say something.
There was a day here on this show. I did not know what I was saying. Boss, I said.
The person put you into trouble.
In fact, it was just on this Bill Gates internet, and I just read it. It was terrible. Nowadays, you hear me, I'm very cautious.
What did you say?
I cannot repeat it because I was told what it actually was. I cannot repeat.
Okay.
My Lord. Josh really says good morning. Robert Ubogo is tuning in from Mombasa. Ivesh Musanga is tuned in from Victoria Falls in Zimbabwe. Good morning to you. Christopher Ogore says good morning, tuned in from Maseno. Sarah Kilonzo says good morning, Spice. We are here again to hear what's happening in my beloved motherland. Where are you, Sarah? Let us know where you're tuned in from this morning or going into the night or into the rest of the day. Peter Kamau is tuning from Utawala in Embakasi East, waving at you, brother. Peter Kiari says, good morning from Mombasa. We've just been given hope, not because we paid for it, but because Jesus did, and the payment was more than enough, indeed. Leo says, good morning, Princess Undu. Good morning to you. Dennis Anaseto, corruption aside, who has the mandate to ensure safety and refill of quarry during an excavation of stones? Well, usually, when you dig a quarry, you actually are supposed to ensure that it's still safe to move around. You should, because the point of a quarry is that you're excavating, so you've removed, so there's nothing for you to put back. But you must actually leave the area safe. You must leave signage and stuff so that people don't go near it. Isaac Kale says, good morning, Spices. As you sip your coffee, scroll your feed, always remember that if your Wi-Fi is slow or your tomatoes are expensive, it's all part of the transformation agenda. All right. Atieno says, bonjour, mes amours, tuned in from Nairobi. Cole Kipkeno says, good morning, tuned in from Kericho. Kindly grease the hinges of the studio door. It squeaks a lot. Which door?
Okay. Maybe they meant the...
I don't know, but it's not the door, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Joe Mangai says, prospective leaders are expected to outline their plans. Okay, good morning. Indeed, they are. Eric Orr says, good morning, guys. Hisa Daniel says, hey, Spice, good morning. My prince is tuned in this morning. Last Sunday, President donated 50 million shillings to a church. This is more than 2 years of his annual salary. Cindio? Samuel Moreira says, good morning, beautiful people. Kenya needs an overhaul. Did Olekina say we don't need educated police officers? Even that mean grade of a D is not necessary. We are cooked, though, it would appear. Benedito is tuned in. Ndu and Dennis squared. Now that the driver for Kibra MP has been punished, what about the MP who instructed the driver? That's a very good question. Mel Boer, knock knock. For the first time, Mel Boer has said more than knock knock. So where are the Starehe IBC registration offices? That's a good question. Where? I visited the first 3 Jana and gave up. Is this confusion intentional? Well, that's a good question. Folks are trying to register, and in the area, they're not able to find one. And they've been to 3 locations, can't find one. Perhaps we need to talk to Aluta
will.
and let us know what's going on. Harun Wamkoya says, good morning from Nairobi. Lillian Mungare is tuning in from Kikambala. Raya says, good morning, people. Najma Chaudhry is tuned in. We have no sound. Maybe you need to check on your side, Najma. Isakale says, Salimia Pedi. We did. Michael Mboji says, good morning, tuned in from Mweiga in Nyeri. The trio is lit. Hey, good morning. David Mangera says, good morning, nice people. Simon Kiburu is tuned in from Mombasa. And Job Otieno says, D&D. Do we really have a loan as a country? Oh, that's a good question. Festus Mulu says, good morning from Machakos. YCO. Bwangi Juma's tuned in, everybody. And he's asking everybody, how are you doing?
Salama.
Very good. Bree Bishanga says, good morning. Who is chewing next to the mic? People are hearing things. The door opening. People are chewing. Are you guys sure you're tuning here? Lewis, we see you. Good morning. Moramut said to you, bro. Dritamamu says, good morning from Kambu. How do you guys have great conversations today? And I'll be meetings till 9. Isa, cancel your meetings. Boy, did I say that out loud? Thomas Omosa says, always waiting for the big conversation. Jay is tuned in. Christina says, good morning. Mama Jay says, good morning. Great job yesterday, Asante Sana. The 2 Dennises were on fire. Christina, good morning. Always multitasking. Earbuds in the situation room, but when I get emotional, they ask what's wrong. You're good, Christina. It's okay. You went back, Rahimtula. We see you. Hi, John. Good morning. Owen Emolu says, mad love from Boito. Okay, may you do a show around the country so we get to meet you. Lydia, they said we should go around the country. Sprinkle your magic dust. Make it happen. Sindo, Ufisadi peleka kwa Ruto. That's what Peter said. All right. Kimathi Nkrumah McConnell says, good morning. Big up yourself and Ubuntu. Jeffrey Nicholas says, good morning, Spice family. Thomas Osora says, good morning, guys. Good to see you again. Thank you so much for being here. Hey, Spice, and good morning. Leta Matiangi Atupange. Trevor Hill, we see you. Thomas George Onyango says, good morning from Mombasa. And Julia Song says, good morning, Ndu Aseto and Dennis. Always a pleasure tuning in to Spice. Thank you, everyone, for doing it like you do. Great to have you in the room every day. And as we get into these conversations, it's fantastic. Somebody put a comment yesterday on X and said that we essentially asked the opposition to spill the beans and tell us what their plan is, and that we have now given President Ruto and his crew leakage. I was like, okay. Well, if you don't have a plan, there's a problem. I don't know if that's true, but all right. That was interesting to read. Let's look into the headlines, shall we? On the front page of Kenya's bold newspaper, The Standard. Another experiment, and there's a picture there of the CS Treasury, John Mbadi. Another mirage. President William Ruto's newest youth empowerment drive, the 5 billion shilling Nyota Fund, is drawing fire from economists and politicians who say it mirrors past flops like the Hustler Fund. By the way, you guys, what happened to the Hustler Fund?
Siko bado.
Iko.
I tried to register nini ilikata.
They don't want to give you 500 bucks?
No.
I'm so sorry.
Nitaka tu 500 tu.
Only.
Bunch.
Only
Sure.
500.
Yeah.
Tunaweza changa kusaidia.
No, I was trying to see if it works.
Oh, si ati unahitaji
No.
So based off your trial, it's not working.
Well,
For
I
you.
did everything and it
For
didn't
you.
work. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Have you tried?
Like
I
Sha,
tried as well.
Oh, it didn't work.
It didn't work.
Oh,
I think wanatujua.
So this simple research in a room where 3 people are, at least
if
2.
at least 2 people.
Have you tried?
No.
Please do. Before end of this show, you will tell us whether you've succeeded.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try.
Okay.
Critics argue that the plan risks adding to Kenya's ballooning debt while offering meager, unsustainable grants of 50,000 shillings to a few. Analysts warn that without solid policy reform, Nyota may shine briefly, then fade like its predecessors. Name them. How many are they? My goodness. So we're looking at 5 billion shillings sourced from the World Bank, which according to the government will support 100,000 young people across the country. So how do you choose? Who are these 100,000? Do they make an application? If they do, why can't they just use the Youth Enterprise Fund, the Women's Fund, Uwezo Fund, Hustler Fund? Should I continue? There's so many. This Nyota one, why are you putting it? Boost the other ones that you have and make it happen. But what do I know? Amount that the World Bank has agreed to advance the country for the entire program is 13.6 billion shillings. I hazard a guess that it's possible that 13.6 billion shillings may not get to everybody, but shh. 50,000 shillings is the amount of each micro or small entrepreneur beneficiary will get. And so that's what the Nyota Fund looks like. But we're going to look into it. Is it another experiment? Or is it a slapstick thing to talk about where the money might go and it actually doesn't go there? That's the question. In other headlines in the Standard, schools struggle financially as KCSE exams kick off this week. Ministry moots new plan to end detention of student certificates. What were the reasons why people's certificates were held in the past? Well, let's look at the new plan to stop that nonsense. Lecturers reject pay offer, demand compliance with new agreement. Just in case you were wondering, the lecturers are still on strike and learning in public universities is not happening. And they're saying, okay, that's nice. How about y'all go back and try again? And then perhaps we'll have a conversation. But for now, we are doing what? We are not boarding. TSC begins preparations for 2025 teacher education assessments. That's happening in 2025 in October. Today's the 14th, just in case anybody didn't know. That we're already well into the month of October. All right, looking at other headlines in the Standard. Quickly before we come and look into some of these stories. Opposition chiefs warn of Ruto's growing divide and rule tactics. Moi's decision to work with Ruto shakes Rift Valley and national politics. Shakes? In what way? Yeah, you can shake. Like James Bond used to say, I'll have a martini shaken, not stirred. So is it shaking things and not stirring them up? That's a good question, eh?
Yeah.
NHIF was better. Kenyans hit Shah over service gaps in the latest delivery. And there's a man we've not seen for a while, Senator Ledama Olekina. Senators debate bill on county finance oversight. Waiguru supporters tell Gashagwa, respect women. I can't even remember. What did he say? Apparently he said something that's got everybody having their knickers in a twist.
So about Kirinyaga County.
Yeah.
And all the women went out.
Hey, proper.
Yes.
Even Rosabuyu came out and said, no, can't talk like that about people. So apparently he's gotten something that's, stirred the hornet's nest. Somebody's got to be in their bonnet over what he said. All right.
Yeah, so let's go to the Daily Nation. And there's a story of the incident that happened at Statehouse now. Alarm as several security breaches have rocked the president's official residence, including the killing of an intruder in 2017. Now, Kithuka Kimunyi was loitering around Statehouse, Nairobi yesterday when he drew an arrow and shot General Service Unit Officer Ramadan Matanka to death. It emerged the two were known to each other. What was the reason for this deadly fallout between apparent bosom buddies outside Kenya's premier address?
Bow and arrow, like Robin Hood.
Yes. Shot a police officer. Apparently they knew each other and the officer died. Begs a lot of questions in terms of protective gear for
Did he mean
police
to shoot
officers.
his friend or somebody else?
So,
Just ask.
yeah. Now, MP's think tank warns against higher taxes. Parliament budget experts have asked the National Treasury to stop burdening Kenyans with extra taxes, arguing that past increases have not yielded the projected revenues. The Parliamentary Budget Office says the new taxes have stoked widespread public apathy and led to poor revenue collection. What are we talking about? 342 billion shillings, the amount by which the government missed revenue targets in the past 2 years. So you increase taxes, but what happens? You fail to reach the desired goal. Fail to hit the targets, and now the committee pretty much tells Treasury, don't increase taxes. Now, elections, only 20,000 of projected 6 million new voters listed. Remember, IEBC is targeting 6.3 million new voters, but so far only 20,000 have registered. The Electoral Commission has lamented about low turnout among the targeted youth registration at Duma centers, and in 290 constituencies was intended to ramp up listing of the Gen Z. There's a question that we've been asked, just where exactly is IEBC in terms of registration? Because remember, the lady said she had gone to 3 different locations, but no IEBC offices. Now, education, varsity crisis deepens after collapse of Dawn's pay talks. Talks to resolve the month-long lecturers' strike have ended in a stalemate. The unions walked out after the government failed to commit to pay their members 7.9 billion shillings outstanding arrears. Now, how Gachagua party growing influence has star-bound Kenya now. A fierce political battle is brewing in the region as former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua moves to consolidate the voting bloc under his new party. Yesterday, Rigathi Gachagua was saying the way he's committed to ensuring that the mountain moves as a block. That's where he ended up asking one Kirinyaga governor, Waiguru, to stop dividing the mountain and join the bandwagon. Akasema, nyinyi ni wajinga kiasi gani? I think that's what started at the conversation now, that other people are saying you need to respect women. Okari, uko na nini?
I was trying my hustler Nini again.
And
it worked finally. So this Nyota thing apparently is clustered with hustler funds.
Also, you've seen, are you applying for Nyota while in the hustler fund?
No, I tried for Nyota. It told me
age bracket.
Not even age. So when you go to the Nini, it gives you, okay, which one do you want? Do you want hustler fund or Nyota? So when I clicked on Nyota, I just want to see how it's going to work. So they tell you select a track, terms and conditions, no more. I select a track. Selecting
Track as in
a track, I think an option or something. So the options are business support, recognition of prior learning on job experience. So business support. Once I do that, it tells me, thank you for your interest in the business support track. The application window is now closed. We will notify you when the next phase opens. It's closed.
So when you get the next...
open?
I have no clue what's going on.
So when you get the next tranche of 5 billion is when you'll apply?
But I will be notified.
Okay.
Yeah, but when I tried the Hustler Fund, finally, I think it wame to Skiza. I've been told, dear customer, your loan limit is 100 bob. Borrow and repay on time.
Have you applied for
Yani, I'm eligible to only 100 shillings.
Sort out all your needs. Sort out everything.
No.
No, I'm serious, guys.
Remember,
100 shillings. Borrow and repay on time
100,000.
to grow your limits.
Remember, you're supposed to start a business with it. That was the sole purpose.
And
not
save
to sort
from
out
it
your issues.
also.
So when you get 100 bob, there is a little that will be deducted to go into your savings. So you'll not get 100, you'll get a little bit less, 80 something.
87.
Oh.
So
Yeah.
13 bob, you can imagine you're well on your way to savings, my friend.
Yeah.
13 whole shillings. You start saving with that money. Alafu chukua 87 bob. Sijui njugu.
Yeah, you start
Oh.
small.
Start selling. Start
So you
small,
don't
my
get
friend.
the whole amount, huh?
No. We care about your future. So we want you to save some money. And we can see that you're well on your way, my friend. So borrow that 100 shillings. You stay
have
with
to
87.
inculcate.
So what is this? So I'm saying my hustler rating, option 1, 2, personal loan, bridge loan, savings, hustler groups.
Nini.
Groups is
These
now
are all different options. Like
So you can
select.
borrow with other people now.
the other people.
Oh,
So if
okay.
you belong in like a SACCO or something, like Boda guys
Sasa yake
coming together.
likataliwa
then-
mtu hajajaribu, what do you do? Okay, we'll form a group
Yeah,
at the end
let's
of the
form a
show.
group
Then we
first.
see how this thing works.
Yeah.
So for now, I say personal loan. Let me see what's gonna happen.
Tukwe watano. So
Request loan.
there's a lead hapo na. Maybe join lead.
My loan limit is 100 shillings for
Sasa
a period
unachukua hiyo
of 14
100
days.
bob.
That's the only thing it's giving me.
So take the 100 bob
Take
then.
100.
100 shillings for a period of 14 days at an interest rate of 8% per year.
So you'll
Okay. 8% per year. Okay. And you're supposed to pay it within?
14 days.
14 days. I need to pay this 100 within 14 days.
So wafanya haraka bana. They can change their mind.
Okay, 100. Okay. I've done 100. Oh my God. 95 shillings has been sent to your M-Pesa.
Ndio hiyo.
Yeah.
So your
So shilingi
savings,
tano imekatwa.
Yeah.
It's in savings.
Savings.
Can you imagine now? You can actually say, I have 5 shillings waiting somewhere for me
Yeah.
to start something. How many
95
people are in
bob.
that position this morning, Mr. Okari?
Oh my God. No, let me cancel. Stuck in my Madeni.
And that savings, it accrues interest of how much again?
I don't know.
8% per year.
For the savings.
No. I'm talking about the savings.
I have no clue. It's the first time I'm trying this. I needed to see how this thing is working. I thought the minimum is 500.
Shoko knew.
Anyway,
it's
let me
not.
go to the headlines. I'll go back to this later.
That's a good experiment.
It was great
So-
fun. Yeah.
So the Star, Matiang'i 2027, ethnic factor hiccup in race for top post. So ex-CS's ambitions constrained by brutal political arithmetic. So they have a story there of how the numbers could be a stumbling block in Matiang'i's bid for president in 2027. So even the prime CS position that we initially thought it could give him is being eyed by Gachagua in the event his impeachment cases hold and he regains the leeway to hold public office. This is a quote from some of the people who've been asked to give their views about Matiang'i. So despite being endorsed by Jubilee as its presidential candidate, Matiang'i finds his ambitions constrained by brutal political arithmetic. Okay, so there's another story here. Counties that doctored budget to hide wage bill. I'll get into a bit of detail on this one. TB survivors want faster and simpler treatment. Did you know it takes 18 to 20 painful months to treat
Yeah.
TB?
It's a seriously drug resistant disease. It really, really does a number
It's a
on your
stubborn
body.
one, huh?
It's very stubborn, and you have to keep going. So folks who get tired of taking it,
Yeah.
they drop off and then come back, and then the infection just becomes more virulent, and it's really a thing.
Yeah. So survivors are actually asking for fast and simpler treatment because the long journey is marked by relentless medication, like you said. The routines and the effects, such as hearing loss, mental distress, and stigma. So this has caused a growing number to call for alternative solutions to the current draining treatment regimen. Court frees worker jailed for running over his boss. So there's a mine worker who had been jailed for 25 years for killing his supervisor by running over him with an excavator. So we are having people being shot with arrows. People are being run over. What's going on?
There's a lot of anger in the city.
What
my
on
friend.
it? What on a jam? So AU campaigns beckon a seat held by Kenyan declared vacant. So Kenya could be back to the strenuous AU campaign next year after the African Union Commission declared 3 seats, one held by a Kenyan, vacant. So the Commission's latest note dated October 3rd opened the nomination process for election of 3 new members to the African Commission on Human and People's Rights, set to take place during the 48th ordinary session of the Executive Council in February next year. So among those whose terms are expiring is Kenya's representative Litha Musimi Ogana, who is eligible for re-election. Yes, so the other countries that are also eyeing this, so we'll wait and see what happens. Now, let me read this story here. Counties fiddle with budgets to hide ballooning wage bill. So despite cooking books, some devolved units still exceeded 35% limit. Control of Budget Margaret Nyakang has revealed that at least 16 counties are engaging in fraudulent budgeting to hide actual expenditure on employee compensation. So the COB said counties are deliberately underreporting staff-related expenses by declaring misleading compensation for periods shorter than the full financial year. Only 8 counties complied with the law and did not exceed the legal threshold for wages. Some counties, I quote, are becoming clever. By engaging in fraudulent budgeting, they're deliberately not requisitioning salaries for a month or 2 so that by the end of the year, they report spending for fewer months. The unpaid salaries for 1 or 2 months are then reported in the subsequent financial year, creating the illusion of compliance with fiscal regulations. Nyakango also explained that this deceptive trend began in the last financial year as counties sought to appear compliant with the law that caps spending on employee compensation at 35% of total revenues. Despite manipulation, some counties still exceeded the 35% limit. In the last financial year, the controller flagged 16 counties. These include Bungoma, Narok, Turkana, Bomet, Kilifi, Kisumu, Machakos, Makueni, Mandera, Marsabit, Meru, Murang'a, Nyandarua, Tharaka Nithi, and Mombasa. And they are notorious. Nyakango said Bungoma and Narok failed to disclose their spending on compensation of in simple watu ni wakora. Let me not go any further with this story. Watu ni wakora. They are finding ways of manipulating books, cooking books. And the amounts we're talking about here that are being disclosed, these amounts will just blow your head.
As you hear,
counties are spending 4.6 billion, 5.9 billion, 7 billion, 4.89 billion, 5 billion respectively. Marsabit wage bill stood at 43%, Meru 42%. Uni wage bill.
And it's supposed to be capped at 35 and below.
Yes. Okay. Overall, the report is showing that employee compensation consumed 47% of total county spending.
Okay. You see the things that you're saying?
Yeah.
And that the CAB, of course, she's the one who's supposed to approve spending of the consolidated fund.
Yes.
That office is supposed to do that. So she has agreed, go ahead, spend the money, but then we're not able to see what it goes to. And that in what space is it okay for you to decline to share reports on your expenditure and your audits? In what world is that okay? Now, understand that as you operate like this, these are the same circles that the president on Sunday said, we are going to be first world. You see these things?
Yeah.
This is what you want to use to become first world. This.
Yeah.
Hi, Singapore.
And we're creating other funds here. In total, 47 counties spent 220 billion. Not on development, not education, not health, on salaries and wages and allowances. You know what, guys? I love the concept of devolved units, but let's be honest. Because we're not honest with ourselves, we got back to 8 provinces. Just go back.
Let's look at 220 billion against their budget allocation that they always ask for is around 400.
It's about 400. It's 380 billion.
Yeah, so let's say 385. So you're using...
They wanted 420. It was rejected. Okay, yeah, right. Mm-hmm.
So now look at 100 billion that you have across all the counties for development, but you've squandered
50% of it.
More than 50%, actually. If you're getting 300, it's more than 50% to pay salaries. What are we doing?
It's ridiculous. And there are people who've never reported to some of these county offices from the first governor.
Yeah.
But they're on a payroll. And because you just can't fire, they keep earning money. But then you're also inflating and cooking books so that you are going above 35%. Others are reporting 47%. How do you have that in your budget?
Then you're telling me that we want to be Singapore tomorrow. Yeah. You're telling me that Kenya will be Singapore tomorrow with this kind of forest behavior. Even the forest is organized, for goodness sake.
You know why that will be difficult? My last story here, very briefly. Kenyans are borrowing 110 million every minute.
From that thing you tried to do now that it gave you 100 bob?
Yeah. No, via Fuliza. Can I repeat this again? Kenyans are borrowed 110 million every minute via Fuliza, Safaricom's overdraft facility in 2024, as they fought a tough economy characterized by the high cost of living amid depressed earnings. So data from Safaricom's sustainability report unveiled early last week shows that the number of people relying on the loan facility during the period under review rose by 100,000 to 7.5 million.
My
up
Lord.
From 7.4. Yes, this is serious. This is basic. It's a Fuliza economy.
What?
Kenyans are relying on costly loans for food, paying bills using this. So this number has risen from 100,000 to 7.5 million.
Boss.
Up from 7.4 million the previous year. With majority spending the money on basic household items. Kununua maziwa, kununua mkate, kununua sukari, kununua mafuta na chumvi. According to the report, 4.07 million transactions were made in the review period from 2.37 million, translating to an average 186 transactions per minute. So the last 1 minute, 186 transactions have already happened.
They've happened and they're completed as accepted, positive.
Yes,
so we're not even looking at the ones that have been denied.
Yes.
These are the ones that have gone through for which people are getting money. It's ridiculous.
Tukumea hapo kwa sasa.
You know, 110
Singapore.
million. You said a minute.
Yes, a minute. Every minute.
Now do that in an hour.
I see you, Singapore.
6.6 billion in an hour.
Singapore.
And South Korea.
Yeah, just in the horizon. But please tell us the story of Robin Hood.
Yo. 6.6 billion shillings in an hour.
6.6 billion shillings. That's what people are borrowing.
In an hour.
You've reduced people to doing this.
Yeah.
On this other side, juxtapose this to the other story of counties.
Spending
220
billion on salaries.
And you're saying this thing of devolution is working.
To the Statehouse.
Please tupeleke kwa gate.
Get your Statehouse. Official records show that Kithuka Kimunyi was loitering around Statehouse, Nairobi yesterday when he shot General Service Unit Officer Ramadan Hamisi Matanka with an arrow on the left side of his chest. But hours after Matanka's death, multiple police sources with access to CCTV footage that captured the incident said that Kimunyi and Matanka may have been well acquainted. Now, for 17 minutes, 56-year-old Kimunyi and Matanka were deep in conversation at the screening area of Statehouse Gate D, an entrance usually reserved for the president's designated staff and visitors. Clad in a grey trouser and Masai shuka across his upper body, Kimunyi strolled into security booth at Gate D at 7:58 a.m., holding a gunny bag with assorted items. That only security personnel, staff, and the president's invited guests are allowed to get that close to any State House entrance is among the factors investigators have considered in putting together a theory that Kimunyi may have been well known to Matanka and possibly other guards at the gate. CCTV footage reviewed by investigators may not reveal the subject of the 17-minute exchange between Kimunyi and Matanka, but corroborates a critical theory at this stage of the murder probe. The two may have been bosom buddies who either fell out on account of the conversation or a deal gone sour. Those are the two key theories investigators are following, as the footage and preliminary scrutiny of Matanka's mobile phone indicates that he has in the past met Kimunyi at the different State House entrances. The two usually met at the gate Matanka was assigned to. Now, at 8:10 a.m., Kimunyi whipped out a bow and arrow from a sack he was carrying and went for the left side of Matanka's chest with force and precision. Whether by luck or design, Kimunyi's strike was at the moment that no other security personnel could intervene. The other two GSU officers manning the gate were searching a car. The CCTV footage shows Matanka falling to the ground, writhing in pain, and his colleagues rushing to aid him. Now, he was rushed to Kenyatta National Hospital. He succumbed to the injury while being attended to at the hospital's emergency bay. Just like that, the GSU Company G, which was deployed to guard State House entrance barely 3 months ago, lost a team member, and Hassan Dabie Matianka lost his only child. So this man showed up at State House Gate
With a bow and arrow.
With a bow and arrow in a gunny bag, had a conversation for 17 minutes with this officer, and after the 17 minutes, this guy whipped out a bow and arrow, shot the officer, dead.
Are you able to just walk up to State House Gate and just have a conversation with somebody if you're not uniformed off? Are you able to do that?
If
Can you just
if
go?
you're trying to access Gate D, first of all, as you're entering, there is a barrier. There are two big barriers that are there before you start getting to the gate. So by the time you access the gate, officers have already seen you come because it's quite a distance. So you can imagine.
And he's carrying a bag large enough to carry a bow and arrow. How big is a bow and arrow? From what I know, the bow is pretty big.
Because he also had the Masai shuka, so one would assume the bow had been covered with the Masai shuka. But that notwithstanding, by the time he was getting there with the gunny bag, the first thing one would assume security officers would do is to assess contents of...
This is my question.
No, but guys, if going with the CCTV footage, because the detectives are still trying to establish motive, going by what you've just said, if the CCTV footage is showing these two having a conversation, it's not like the first time.
The first time,
And they're saying the officer was not even apprehensive when this gentleman was approaching. You know how you'd expect, you're carrying a bag, you're coming close to a sensitive area like this one to the gate. They will all be like, "Hey, simama kombali kwanza."
Or is it because he was his friend?
Yeah,
He was his
ordinarily
friend.
you will not walk and And the way they're putting it, it's like these two people knew each other.
So that's why there was no cause of alarm for the other security officers who were at
because
the area.
they knew him very, very well. You know, it's like when you get into the gates of offices here, the guards will, of course, know you and know me, so you can have a conversation. Does anyone else know that, okay, this is the day that somebody has this kind of plan? But what I'm wondering, they never fired a single shot, actually.
Nope, even after he had shot him.
Because after shooting the arrow, the guy started running.
Yeah. They didn't try to waylay him. They didn't try.
Yeah, because even based off the report, it said that when they went through the officer's mobile phone, they found out that these guys had been communicating before, and they had actually met before in different other gates within Statehouse. So he's a person who was well known to these officers.
These other guys.
So pretty much he was not an alarm or a threat to the officers at the time.
Unfortunate situation.
Yeah.
All right. The Senator Okiom Tata will be in the hot seat. It's 7:01. Good morning.
The latest news. This is the Situation Room, the only way to start your day.